Hello and welcome to the news at 10 on NTN 24 live from Abuja. I am Mina Daniels. The headlines. President Tinubu in Plateau State to attend funeral rites of APC chairman's mother. The President inaugurates roads in Abia State. And Gombe State gets newly constructed School of Nursing at Specialist Hospital. President Bola Tinubu is in Jos Plateau State for the funeral prayer of Nana Lydia Yewada Koshe, mother of the APC National Chairman, Professor Nantewe Yewada Koshe. Our correspondent, Bilkis Nuhu, is standing by live from the Jos Airport to feed us in on the President's engagement. Hello, Bilkis. Good to see you. All right, we'll be working hard to reconnect with Bilkisu again. Meanwhile, President Bola Tinubu has called on Nigerians to draw inspiration from the late Dr. Michael Okpara, former Eastern Region Premier, who worked tirelessly to integrate the Southeast region into the national fabric. The president made the appeal in a message delivered at the inauguration of several road projects initiated by Abia State Governor Dr. Alex Oti. Kelechi Okata reports.
President Bola Tinubu, represented by the Minister of Works, Senator Dave Umahi, praised Abia State Governor Dr. Alex Oti's administration for its notable achievements in infrastructure development. Senator Umahi, who made the remarks during the inauguration of roads in Aba, commended Governor Oti's efforts, stating that the federal government will continue to support the governments that undertake impactful projects. He urged Abia residents to support the governor's initiatives, emphasizing the importance of collective efforts in driving progress.
Let me assure you that we are beginning to have a lot of gains from our reforms. The inflation has come down to below 20%. Our foreign reserve has hit over 42 billion. The GDP is growing by over 4.2%. The worst is over. The words of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Governor Oti expressed gratitude to President Tinubu for his support, particularly the timely release of funds for people-oriented projects.
It is projected that the economic impact of these roads could see the value of our vast gross domestic product rise significantly in the medium to long term. I have no doubt that over the next 12 months, the volume of trade between Aba and other business capitals in the country will double.
The inaugurated projects include key roads such as Port Harcourt Road, Ohank Road, and Ndoki Road, as well as the renovated Michael Okpara Auditorium in Umuahia, a significant cultural and event venue.
I do this in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
The projects are expected to boost economic activities, enhance connectivity, and improve the overall quality of life for Abia residents. In Aba, Kelechi Okata, NTN News.
I will tell you earlier on that President Bola Tinubu is in Jos, Plateau State, for the funeral prayer of Nana Lydia Yewada Koshe, mother of the APC National Chairman, Professor Nantewe Yewada Koshe. And of course, Bilkisu is now ready to join us live from the Jos Airport to feed us in on the President's engagement. Hello, Bilkisu. The past 24 hours has been a beehive of activities in Jos. Can you just bring us up to speed about the situation in Jos as regards to this burial?
Okay, hello. Jos, the capital of Plateau State, is calm and peaceful. At the moment, the people await the arrival of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for the funeral service of late Mama Lydia Yilwada Goshwe, mother of the All Progressives Congress National Chairman, Professor Nentawe Yilwada. Already, security personnel have been deployed to strategic points from the Yakubu Gowon Haipang Airport down to the Kokin Headquarters Church in Jos, venue of the funeral service. So far, the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, George Akume, members of the National and State Assemblies, APC National Working Committee members, heads of boards, agencies and federal parastatals, deputy governors of Plateau and Nasarawa, religious leaders from various denominations, youth and women delegation from across the country, and other sympathizers are already in Jos.
This update, Bilkisu, can you tell us what the program of that wedding, the burial is like? What is the program for this burial?
At the moment, party stalwarts and supporters are at various points awaiting the arrival of Mr. President from Haipang to Jos, the city center, to give him a rousing welcome. APC National Working Committee members are already on ground. Governors of Niger, Ondo, Akwa Ibom and Kogi states are also on ground. They are on their way to the church for the funeral service. We are told the funeral service will commence at 11 a.m. upon arrival of Mr. President in Jos.
Thank you, Bilkisu. It's good to know that security is on ground, like you mentioned, because the president also will be attending. Thank you so much for this update.
Thank you.
Our President Bola Tinubu has called on Nigerians to draw inspiration from the late Dr. Michael Okpara, former Eastern Region Premier, who worked tirelessly to integrate the Southeast region into the national fabric. I'm sure we have taken that report. And so, moving on, the story of healthcare infrastructural renewal in Gombe State is unfolding with the inauguration of a 100-bed Senator Oluremi Tinubu Mother and Child Specialist Hospital. Nigeria's First Lady Oluremi Tinubu, while inaugurating the facility built by the Office of the Senior Special Assistant to the President on SDGs, says the project reflects the commitment of the federal government to providing children with a healthy start in life. State House correspondent Adini Taiwo reports.
Sometimes you might even get embarrassed when, like, the opposite gender see you like that. Some people might even be, like, mean enough to laugh like that. So it's actually not nice.
For a young girl, one of the difficult and embarrassing stories to tell is that of menstruation, particularly where sanitary items needed to guarantee menstrual dignity are not easily available. Esther Lucas' account, a reality for many other young girls in rural and underserved communities, is not only a cause for social inhibition, but also a dent on confidence that affects school attendance during their monthly flow.
Some who attend resort to using unsafe or unhygienic alternatives, while others stay at home altogether, falling behind in their studies, and in some cases eventually drop out of school.
A national launch of the New Hope initiative, Flow with Confidence, in Gombe State by Nigeria's First Lady Oluremi Tinubu.
We will be distributing 1 year's supply of disposable sanitary pads to 370,000 schoolgirls in rural communities across the nation at the end of this program. All states and the federal capital territory will receive 10,000 pads each through the state first ladies and RHI coordinators. This is to support our girls in rural communities and those who are unable to afford sanitary pads. Each beneficiary will receive 1 year's supply of pads. We chose disposable sanitary pads because it offers a simple, hygienic option that offers better health benefits for a woman's reproductive well-being. I want to especially appeal to the executive chairmen of local government areas, given your critical position as the arm of the government closest to the people and your role in delivering essential services.
Our concern is that we raise the standards of hygiene and sanitation. And what we are doing now is part of it.
This initiative will deliver menstrual hygiene, education, and awareness in school, communities, and among families, helping to demystify menstruation and promote healthy practices.
Adolescent girls all across the world are critical for the development of any nation. We acknowledge numerous challenges they face, amongst which you are addressing one of them today.
Away from the launch, the First Lady inaugurated the newly built Federal Medical Center, Kumo. She was also the guest of the Lamido Ako Alhaji Muhammad Atiku, who conferred on her the traditional title of Sarauniya Yaki, Queen Warrior of Ako Emirates. She also held an expanded interaction with members of Gombe State Traditional Council. From Gombe, Adeni Itaiwo, NTA News.
Secretary to the Government of the Federation, George Akume, says the federal government, under the Renewed Hope agenda, has delivered on its campaign promises and deepened commitments in sustaining national development on the right trajectory. The SGF was speaking during an event to honor his Chief of Staff and wife, during which President Bola Tinubu's presidency within the period of stewardship was brought to the front burner and commended for a job well done as Nigeria marks 65 years of independence.
We are talking on super highways for the first time in the history of this country. And you go to the economy, things are picking up. When this government took over, we had nothing in our foreign reserves. Today we boast of 42 billion in our foreign reserves. Tax reforms have come, and today businessmen are sure of how much they are going to pay as taxes. There is nothing arbitrary about tax administration again. Foreign exchange windows were 4 before this government took over. Today you have only 1 window. The list is endless.
Look around you, look at the infrastructure, look at what is happening with students, look at basically what is even happening with our foreign reserves, where it was when we took over and where it is now.
The present government is doing so much, placing women in positions of authority, and gradually we'll get there.
The occasion was used to appeal to Nigerians to rally round the Renewed Hope agenda for political stability, social harmony, and economic prosperity of Nigeria and Nigerians. This is the news at 10 on NTA News 24. Still to come, Nigeria Police Force commits to strengthening policing. This and more when we return.
Precision, engineered to perfection. Every component is crafted with care, and each design is meticulously tested. From concept to creation, our engineers push the boundaries of technology, seamlessly blending performance and sustainability with a deep commitment to African ingenuity. Introducing the CNG Boss, a remarkable achievement in engineering designed to operate on compressed natural gas, a cleaner and more sustainable fuel alternative. At Innocent Vehicles, we proudly lead the way in creating greener mobility across Africa. And it doesn't stop there. From SUVs to sedans, spacious buses to electric cars, Innocent offers a wide range of models designed to meet every need. Innocent Vehicle, the pride of African Road.
This is more.
Thanks for joining us again. The Nigerian Police Force, in partnership with the GS Foundation and the United Nations Development Programme, UNDP, has reaffirmed its commitment to building inclusive and capable leadership within its ranks as female police officers from across the country undergo a specialized women leadership development course. Francis Fom reports that for the past 2 weeks, senior female officers of the force, drawn from the ranks of assistant superintendents of police to chief superintendents of police, have been participating in an intensive leadership training program designed to sharpen their leadership skills and strengthen their professional effectiveness.
You are not only ready to take on responsibility, you are ready to inspire, to uplift, and to drive a real change.
It is hoped that you have learned. It is also hoped that what you have learned will not be trivialized nor lost. Rather, we will expect that as you go back to your various place of work, you will demonstrate leadership. You will also cascade down what you have learned.
With initiatives like this, the Nigerian Police Force continues to demonstrate its dedication to professional growth, inclusivity, and effective service delivery, ensuring that female officers are well equipped to meet the demands and challenges of modern policing. Ahead of the 2026 pilgrimage, the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NACAN, has fixed December 31st as a deadline for all intending pilgrims to complete the payment of their Hajj fare. Executive Chairman of the Commission, Professor Abdullahi Saleh, announced this during a news conference in Kano.
The news conference was the fallout of an emergency trip by the Commission to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia in preparations of the 2026 Hajj exercise. The chairman of the Commission, Professor Abdullahi Usman, told the media men that during the trip, which was successful, the Commission was able to secure discounts on some accommodation, feeding and logistics services after signing contract with some farms both in Mecca and Medina.
By 31st of December, every pilgrim have to pay complete payment.
He added that to build on the success recorded in the last Hajj, the Commission has commenced the training of its staff to perfect the plans for the successful 2026 pilgrimage.
We inaugurated the 2026 Hajj Tour Operators Screening Committee to screen and ensure that only those who meet our requirements will serve Nigerian pilgrims for this year.
He urged the media to always consult the Commission on any information, pledging that his doors are always open for any clarification. In Kano, Amin Umar, NTA News.
Another wave of anxiety looms with immediate flooding expected across some of Nigeria's riverine communities as major dams prepare to release excess water. Charles Safa is tracking the developments and brings us this update.
Some victims of the last catastrophic flooding in Mokwa are still struggling to recover from their losses and pains. Now, another wave of anxiety looms as residents are urged to heed warnings and move to higher grounds. Recent alerts over the imminent release of excess water from 4 major hydroelectric dams, Shiroro, Jeba, Kainji, and Zungeru, all in Niger State, have raised serious concerns. The release are expected to trigger heavy flooding, particularly in communities along the River Niger and River Kaduna. The primary impact will be felt in Niger State, which hosts the dams before spilling into downstream states including Kogi, Kwara, Benue, Delta, Anambra, and Bayelsa.
And communities in floodplains should evacuate promptly and follow official safety advisories. from national flood early warning centers to prevent loss of life and property. And people are also strongly advised to avoid walking or driving through flood waters.
At the peak of the raining season, the already swollen rivers could overflow rapidly, compounding the impact and making flooding even more devastating. The message is clear. Relocate immediately. Secure belongings. Limit river activities to avoid boat mishaps. Follow official alerts. Avoid substandard structures. And keep waterways clear. Charles Alpha, NTA News.
In a renewed call for action, a northern socio-cultural group, Arewa 100% Focus, is urging collective responsibility among youths to tackle the growing challenges of insecurity in Nigeria's northern region. The organization believes that sustainable progress can only be achieved if the younger generation is actively involved in rebuilding the region. At the inaugural meeting of the new leadership of the organization, members emphasized the need for youth to emulate the values and selfless leadership of notable northern figures who, over the decades, sacrificed for the growth and stability of Arewa.
So all of us who are from Arewa, what is happening to Mr. A is also happening to Mr. B. So we want to see what we can do to support them, to learn from our leaders before they leave, and to create a lot of value-added program that will change the life of our young people that are coming from that region, so that in connection more especially to the nation.
The United Nations Special Envoy on Road Safety, Jane Todd, says it is far more important for countries to focus on preventing road crashes than always responding after they happen. According to him, this approach will go a long way in restoring sanity on the roads. He made the call during a visit to the President of a Court of Appeal, Justice Monica Dongban Mensem. Oyemi Ajayi reports.
What began as a courtesy call to the President of the Court of Appeal soon turned into a deeper conversation about road safety. In company of the Corps Marshal of the Federal Road Safety Corps, Shehu Mohammed, discussions centered on the urgent need for stronger preventive measures rather than reactive ones. Both sides agreed that many lives could have been saved if preventive systems had been prioritized.
I want to appeal that the World Day of Remembrance should be given the status of a convention at the United Nations, so that the issues of victims of road crash can be more be more focused and given more attention.
The United Nations envoy further stressed the need for countries to provide accurate statistics and realistic data, noting that such transparency will improve global road safety strategies.
We need to prevent victims. We don't want victims. And we have the prescriptions from education, law enforcement, quality of roads, quality of vehicles, quality of post-crash cares.
He also encouraged the adoption of the UN standard helmets, describing them as life-saving. John Todd revealed that the United Nations is ready to support Nigeria in setting up a factory to produce helmets that meet international standards. Oyeyemi Ajayi, NTA News.
This is the news at 10 on NTA News 24. Here now is a recap of our top stories. President Tinubu in Plateau State to attend funeral rites of APC chairman's mother. The president inaugurates roads in Abia State. First Lady commissions Specialist Hospital School of Nursing in Gombe.
2024.
Following the death of Somtochukwu Madagwa, whose life was cut short at a prime recently, the management of the Radio, Television, Theatre and Art Workers Union, ROTAO, paid a condolence visit to Arise News Television. Elizabeth Omori reports that Director Corporate Affairs, Arise News Television, Chris Isiguzo, received members of ROTAO on behalf of the chairman, Arise News Channel, Ndoka Obiabena.
People who were part of this tragedy, who perpetrated this heinous crime against humanity, they must be fished out.
President ROTAO, Emeka Kalu, while commiserating with the staff of the media outfit, emphasized the need for greater protection and security measures to prevent such tragic incidents.
Mantra approach. So let's all get involved in this. When you see people of questionable character around your neighborhood, please report them. And we continue to be on the toes of the government to ensure, and the security agents, to ensure that they have round-the-clock surveillance.
Somtochukwu, 29, was one of the promising on-air personalities of Arise News Channel and first gained recognition in 2023 as a runner-up in the 11th edition of Miss Tourism Nigeria. She died on the 29th of September 2025 following an armed robbery at her residence in the Katankwe area of the FCT. And that concludes the news at 10 on NTN News 24. Thanks for watching. I am Nina Daniels.